Come on. Bastard. This is the drone that I thought it was a joke when it was leaked out, but I've ordered it anyway. And then I canceled the order. And then I've ordered it again, and then I finally canceled the order because it looked ridiculous. Shit. And then clearly, I've ordered it again. I didn't get a super fancy combo because if you're willing to spend around $600, you might just get a better drone like the Mini 4 Pro. So this is your kind of a standard package for someone who's just starting out. Reminds me of a shrimp. This looks like a shrimp to you? It looks like a shrimp to me. I mean, it's not totally ugly. Pro tip to anyone coming to Scotland based on the forecast. This apparently is sunny, according to the Met Office. It's like, yeah, you've seen the videos. I'm not gonna go like, oh, you know, you need to unfold these. This is so cool.
Droney. 3, 2, 1.
It's fighting against the wind so hard. Oh, little dude, you're not designed to do this, are you? Come on. Bastard. These things are nowhere nearly as safe as they're on a Neo. Especially when it's that cold. It's about 1 degree Celsius right now. It's freaking freezing. This is not a dicky, this is a thermal layer, because otherwise I would freeze to death. I know I'm a cheap ass bitch with this, but to be fair, as I explained earlier, if you're getting this drone with a better RC and you're spending 600, 700 bucks, just get the Mini 4 Pro. It can't take off in a grass if there's any obstruction to these tiny little propeller things. That's annoying. Okay, this is not very convenient. Two things I've just discovered. First of all, it doesn't want to track you if you're too far away, but also it doesn't want to track you if you're shooting in anything above 30 frames per second. That's a bit weird. Really struggling with the wind just now. And there's no wind. It's like 2-3 knots. There's nothing. I mean, it's doing its thing. So see, right now, we're not really that far away. And it's still kind of a, if I want to do active track right now, it doesn't allow me to do that, which is pretty frustrating, I have to admit. Yeah, I'm not landing you on my hand again. That was a little bit too cold. Maybe not too cold, but I didn't dress for the occasion. I'm getting older and everything's creaking. Screw this, we'll go back out when the weather's a little bit better. And it started raining as well on top of everything else. And I really don't want to drown this drone like I did with the Neo. Although in the rain it should be okay, but I don't know if I'm keeping it or not, so let's keep it nice and dry. One thing that I've noticed that is a little bit off for me, well, actually two things. First one is the fact that if you're a little bit further away from the drone, it's not going to track you. It has to be up close and personal to do that, which is a bit annoying because I really want my drone to show the scenery I'm in, not just me. And the second, which is even more frustrating, is the fact that the auto track doesn't work in anything over 30 frames per second. So there's zero chance of you doing any slow-mo stuff when you're out and about and you want that active track to work. Which is weird, so I'm kind of thinking this might be a firmware update coming soon, and the drone is updated to today's date, which is the 19th January 2025. So it's, in theory, this is after the first software firmware update. So I'm hoping this is just an omission by DJI and we'll get those 50 and 100 frames per second in auto track. But also, can we just get that subject tracking a little bit further away? Because that way I do appreciate kind of a vlogging camera scenario when it flies around you and you can, in theory, sync your mic to your phone and then have a pretty shit sound baked into your audio, to your video. So this is the sound coming through the drone onto my iPhone just now. And this is the sound being recorded on the 32-bit float on the DJI Mic 2, because the sound coming from the phone is typically crap. So it's not a feature you should be using anyway. Let's go. I'm just not a big fan of that, but we'll test it further, see how it goes. Okay, so it's still cold as hell today. However, I came prepared. Hey. Full-on gloves, baby. Mechanics as well. which makes me look like a complete dickhead because I don't serve in the army, and these are kind of designed for these special forces dudes. But they work so well in cold conditions. If you're flying drones and stuff, they're thin enough so you can feel the controls, but they're warm enough to keep your fingers from falling off from the freezing cold. Also, side note, with this Flip Drone, this will limit the amount of clippings I'll have of my skin when I'm trying to land it in my hand. That didn't go that well yesterday. This is the direction truck, so if you happen to vlog with this thing, in theory, it should, well, it should fly in front of you safely, but because it doesn't have any sensors in the back, that means if there's any obstacles there, it's gonna eat shit. So that's a little bit less than perfect. Whoa, dude. Oh, this is not gonna end well. All right, come on, come here. All right, let's spin you around. What are you doing? Right, this is a little bit risky. See what he's gonna do if I'm gonna turn the back on him. Wait, come on. No, you're done, you're not following me anymore. Of course you don't. Too much hassle for you? So, it kinda did its job, but honestly, I wouldn't be using it in that mode if there's any obstacles involved. Also, when I changed the direction I was walking in slightly, it almost slammed into the wall, which is not optimal. This might be one of those very few moments when I have to admit that I might have been wrong, and that this drone is probably one of the most misunderstood products released lately, and let me explain why. Apart from super odd looks, this is a really good product for a very specific target audience. And it's not people who've got big drones already. If you got Mini 4 Pro, definitely skip this one. If you got the Neo, we'll discuss that in a second. But if you never had a drone before, and you need something that will capture your family life moments, that's not gonna break a bank, that comes with a controller in under $430, I believe, it's £359 in the UK, this is a cracking deal, because basically what you're getting is stripped down version of the Mini 4 Pro, which is hitting closer to $1,000, and it's a much bigger investment, whereas this is actually really cool for the price. There are a few things that are a little bit frustrating with this one, and I'll get to it in a second. On the positive side, I was kind of worried that this drone is going to be falling apart really quickly because of these flimsy looking, because trust me, they do look a little bit flimsy, propeller things. But it is doing much better than I expected. It's been unfolded and refolded quite a few times. These connection points feel fairly solid. However, I am not a big fan of having too many moving parts on anything that I use, because it feels that with my clumsiness, something's gonna break off. And that's a massive criticism here. I'm sorry, but see those propeller guards, those little sprocket things here? If you snap one of these guys, I can't see how you would replace it yourself, which is a very weird design choice, because on the Neo, you've just got plastic prop guards that you can pop off and just replace them. I don't know why DJI went with this. So if you're getting one of the flips, definitely get DJI care with it, because there's a high chance you will damage something that's beyond repair. And that includes those folding propellers, because I'm not super sold on this concept. I mean, it works, I haven't broken it, and it feels fairly solid, but it's definitely a weak point, especially in the long run. The image quality is where the DJI Flip shines, and it's way better than the Neo. Unless you get perfect lighting conditions on the sunny day at the right angle, the Neo footage kind of looks a bit crappy, and you need to edit this. And if you're okay with editing, that's absolutely fine. However, the target audience for both of these drones aren't professional creators or filmmakers. It's your holiday goers. It should be advised that you can just launch from the palm of your hand, which is not exactly palm, because you need to kind of clip and grab it, because this doesn't work for some reason. And just take selfies, take epic videos of you walking some incredible mountain ranges or family experiences. And this is where this thing does well, to some extent. That some extent means there are limitations to what you can do in terms of the quality of the video you're getting out of this wee little guy when you're not using the remote. Different to the DJI Neo, you can use this with your mobile phone to change some of the basic settings, if you want to fly it manually with your phone on the Wi-Fi connection, which we'll get to in a second, like the frame rate from 24 to 60 frames per second, or you can change the color profile from the standard to the D-Log M. However, as soon as you switch to any of the intelligent flying modes, like the selfies, like the rocket, the spiral thing, it defaults back to 4K by 30 frames per second, which isn't ideal because if you're shooting everything in 25 frames per second in Europe and PAL system, that creates some issues on the timeline for people who do edit videos that way. So if you're a holiday goer, just disregard what I said about the frame rate, it doesn't really matter. What matters though is that you can't really change any of the other settings. You can't decrease the sharpness of this. And we know that DJI drones, especially in automatic settings, they do over-sharpen everything. And it's a really curious choice because with the Neo, I kind of thought this is DJI asking people, well, if you want this drone to perform better, you need to get a controller. Either something like the DJI RC3 because it's a budget version, or the goggles, and then you can play around the settings and get slightly better image. But with this one, like the Flip comes with the controller anyway, so I can't see a reason why we can't have these settings embedded into the drone settings when we change them on the phone or when the controller is connected. If there's a technical reason, if someone knows, just drop it down in the comments because I'm a little bit confused why you were being forced to use the controller all the time. On the controller thing though, and flying it just with your smartphone, the Wi-Fi connection on this is horrendous. Well, Wi-Fi connection in general is pretty shit way to control your drones because of the interference and basically distance limitations. This clip was filmed in the middle of nowhere. There were no other signals, and even when I was doing this rocket thing, it kind of lost its connection. See, we're losing signal here. Signal lost, that's great. So my advice would be, do not fly this on the phone in manual mode too far away from you, or to a place or a height where you can't grab the drone, because if it loses connection, for some reason doesn't come back home, I'm guessing if it start running out of battery, it would start self-landing, which is, if you're over water, that would be an issue, but it doesn't come back home on its own. My guess is that this is a firmware hiccup and it's going to get fixed by DJI at some point, but if it won't, just keep that in mind. And I know, someone's going to jump in the comment section saying like, you shouldn't be flying this over cliffs or over water, it says in the DJI manual. It's like, I know, Einstein, calm down, it's okay. It's okay, we're still gonna do this, right? Just, As you've seen, I've flown this at night. Now, there is a bit of an issue with that. Because this drone doesn't have any positioning lights or anti-collision lights, your night flying might be restricted in some countries, so double check rules wherever you are. And the other problem is that this drone doesn't broadcast the remote drone ID, which again limits you in some cases where you can fly, where you cannot. And again, do check your local regulations because they differ from a country to a country. Speaking of regulations, because it's under 250 grams, you've got less to worry about when flying in build-up areas or slightly closer to people. Having said that, don't be an ass and don't be a nuisance to people. Don't fly too close. Don't film where people don't want to be filmed. It's okay to respect others' people's privacy. And if you're one of those, they call themselves auditors, who are flying over government property just to trigger a response and create stupid TikToks on the back of that, maybe try and find a different hobby, because of people like you, we all have a harder life flying drones, and this is why we have to go into this sub 250 gram thing. Just do something else. No one's interested. You're not that smart. You're just being an ass. The other limitation, at least for me and using any of my drones, is attracting attention when you're flying it, and that normally is being drawn by the sound. Now, this is slightly quieter than the Neo. It's not as quiet as my Mavic 2 Pro. This is a very scientific, high-end, best tools used experiment to show you the differences between those three drones. That was just a tiny bit too close to my main screen. I forgot that Mavic has props that are not secured, so close one. Where does the Flip fall into whether I should get this drone or not? Listen, if you've got the drone already, if you've got like a Mavic or a Mini 4 Pro, a Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, just don't bother, because you're not gonna see any significant difference. I know there's some people saying that this is much better than 3 Mini. It's not much better. It's maybe marginally, but you have to pixel peep for that. I would stick to what you've got. You're absolutely fine. if you got a Neo and you want a slightly better quality in your camera and you just want to capture nicer images when you're flying around and not in FPV mode, this is a pretty solid choice. Just remember that when you're filming yourself and flying around, this has only a front sensing sensor. So if you're flying with this drone in front of you, it will smash into everything that it has on its way. See, I've mentioned FPV. You can't fly this with FPV goggles. So it really depends how you're wanting to use your drone. If you want to learn how to fly FPV, Neo is great. You can check my video about it just somewhere here. I'm gonna put up a link. But if you want to capture those cinematic shots of your family trips, put some background music onto them and, you know, go full zen, this might be a better choice. If you're going between the combos and you're thinking about the remote, if you're buying the basic stuff, I would say this is actually worth it. If you're going for a Fly More combo, which is closer to that $1,000 mark, the Mini 4 Pro is going to be way better drone. I just got a call that there's an epic surf pumping, so I need to go and catch some waves because this season has been horrendous. Anyway, if you don't have a drone already, then this is a really good deal. I don't know why people call it a flop. I understand if you have a lot of really good drones, this doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense in my quiver because I've got way too many drones as it is. But if you want a good quality, lightweight cinema drone that captures beautiful images, that's sub $500, I think this is really good way to go. Any questions, drop them down in the comments, and I'm gonna go and get really cold. See ya!